Hi everyone, welcome back to Things Lucy Reads. I'm Luce and this is a Star Wars book haul. So these are all of the Star Wars books that I acquired in physical copy over the course of 2017. I actually haven't read most of them, which is something of a surprise. Anyway, I'll tell you the ones that I have read, and at some point I will do 2 Star Wars wrap-ups, one for physical books and one for books that I read as ebooks, which is mostly comics. The first Star Wars book that I acquired last year was the Rogue One novelization by Alexander Freed. I've already read this, as you can tell by the tabs. I gave it 4.5 stars, and I will talk about it a little bit when I do my wrap-up. The next book that I read was a little children's one called Poe and the Missing Ship. This was written by Nate Millisey. This is just a retelling of Poe's section of Before the Awakening, the novel that came out 2 years ago by Greg Rucka. But it's really cute and it's worth buying just for the really gorgeous illustrations. Like, it's so pretty. And it also comes with stickers, so that's exciting. I have already read this one as well. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I'll talk about it in the wrap-up. The next one I've also read, it's Princess Leia Royal Rebel. This was written by Calliope Glass. This is pretty much just an amalgamation of all of the extra books that are about Leia, so Moving Target, and also a little bit of Shattered Empire, I think. Anyway, I've already read this one and I'll talk about that some more in my wrap-up. Then the next one is one of my most anticipated books ever. It came out in February last year and I still haven't read it. It's Empire's End by Chuck Wendig, which is the third in the Aftermath trilogy. I don't want it to end. I love this series far too much, and I'm so afraid that bad things are going to happen to characters that I love, so it's a struggle. Hopefully by the time I do my wrap-up, I will have actually finished it off. The next book is one that I have also read. It's the junior novelization of Rogue One. Again, I'll talk about it in my wrap-up. The next one I've also read and we'll talk about in my wrap-up, and it is Guardians of the Whills by Greg Rucka. This was amazing. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, I think. Then the next book that I bought around the time of my birthday as like a birthday present to myself, and it is the Star Wars Galactic Atlas. It's not really an atlas, it's just like pictures of certain parts of the planets, but we're not going to be pedantic about it. Yeah, so it's got planets that are featured in the films as well as in Clone Wars. There's a Jedha page, which I thought was really cool and is most of the reason that I bought it, let's be real. That's my receipt. Yeah, so I haven't read this one yet, but I'm hoping to very soon because it's quite short. Okay, so the next book is William Shakespeare's The Clone Army Attacketh by Ian Doescher. I have 4 of these books now, but I've still only read one, but they're just really, really funny and really cleverly done, and I picked this one up because it was on sale on Zing, and I thought, why not? Yeah. And I'm just really excited to see how Obi-Wan's snark translates into Shakespearean language. The next book I have to show you is Phasma by Delilah S. Dawson. I'm really excited both for this one and the Phasma comic, which I also have. I think that she was shortchanged in the films, and she could have been so much more awesome. But anyway, at least there's 2 books about her. And then the next book that I got is Leia, Princess of Alderaan by Claudia Gray, which is probably going to be one of the ones that I read next because Holdo is in this, and I loved Holdo. So yeah, this one is about Leia discovering that her parents are part of the rebellion and then becoming part of the rebellion herself. So I think that's going to be really interesting. It's a part of her life that hasn't yet been covered. So I'm really excited, and I've loved all of Claudia Gray's other Star Wars books, so I'm sure it's going to be excellent. And then the next 2 books that I picked up are part of the same series. The series is Join the Resistance, so I have the first one, and the second one, which is called Escape from Vodran. These are by Ben Acker and Ben Blacker. I bought these because one of my Twitter friends, Emmy, read them and said that there was a very interesting thing that happened, which I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it concerns Snap and Poe and Kare, and I'm like, I'm down for that, and I need these books. I kind of knew they existed, but they were only on the periphery of my knowledge, so I didn't really pay much attention to them until Emmy, you know, said what they did. So yeah, I pretty much immediately bought them after finding out what happens, and I'm pretty excited to get to them, and probably it will be soon because I am dying to know more about this thing. The next one that I have read and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It's called BB-8 on the Run. It's by Drew Daywalt and illustrated by Matt Myers. So this is what happens to BB-8 in between leaving Poe and finding Rey, and it's the cutest thing that I've ever read in my life. It was adorable, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I definitely recommend picking it up even if you're no longer a child because it was amazing, and the pictures are all really cute in it as well, but I will talk about it some more in my wrap up. The next book I have to show you is actually one that I was dying for like months before it came out, and then I waited like a month after it came out to actually buy it, and I still haven't read it. But it is Star Wars from a Certain Point of View, which is 40 stories celebrating the 40 years of Star Wars. It came out for the 40th anniversary, and it's just got a bunch of really awesome authors in here, like Renee Ahdieh. There's also Pierce Brown, Meg Cabot, Ray Carson, Zoraida Cordova, Delilah S. Dawson, Kelly Sue DeConnick, Ashley Eckstein, Matt Fraction, Kieran Gillen, E.K. Johnston, Ken Liu, Nnedi Okorafor, Mallory Ortberg, Daniel Halsey-Older, Beth Revis, Sabaa Tahir, Elizabeth Wine, and Chuck Wendig and Will Wheaton. And that's not even all of the authors. So like, it just sounds so amazing. And it's about, as far as I can tell, like the side characters in the universe that see the main action from a different point of view. So I'm really excited to finally get to it because I think it's going to be awesome. The next book that I have is the paperback edition of Volume 1 of Poe Dameron. I've been reading this series in single issues as it comes out on Comixology, but when I was in Dymocks in Adelaide, this one was on sale for $20, so I picked it up. I actually enjoyed these 6 issues as a cohesive whole much more than I did individually. I don't really like reading comics issue by issue because I feel like it's never enough information. Like, comics are made to be read in volumes, I think. I don't think they're meant to be read singly. Anyway, yeah, I think I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I have to show you is The Legends of Luke Skywalker by Ken Liu, which is part of the Journey to the Last Jedi event. So was Phasma, actually. I forgot to say that. And so was the Leia book. Yeah, I had this grand plan to read all of my current unread Star Wars books by the time that Journey to the Last Jedi began. And in a move surprising absolutely nobody, I didn't. But yeah, whatever. At least it's going to fill the gap between now and episode 9. So hopefully the hiatus won't kill me. And at least we have Solo coming out in a few months. So it's not all bad. I think I'm going to make it. Alright, and then the next book that I have to show you was one that I was actually planning to read before I saw The Last Jedi, and that just didn't happen. And it's Canto Bight, which is it's also part of Journey to the Last Jedi. This is a collection of 4 stories, one by Saladin Ahmed, one by Ray Carson, one by Mira Grant or Sean Ann Maguire, and one by John Jackson Miller about Canto Bight, obviously. And I know a lot of people didn't like that part of the movie, but I really did. And I think it's going to be interesting just to find out a little bit more about that planet and the casino in particular. And then the next book that I have is one that I was also absolutely dying for. It didn't appear in shops in my town for like a week after the movie came out. And for that entire week, I was like fanging to read it. And as soon as I saw it, I bought it. And I still haven't read it. And that was 6 weeks ago. I'm ridiculous, and I enjoy the anticipation more than actually having the thing. Anyway, it's The Last Jedi Visual Dictionary. I did actually get spoiled for a couple of the things that I wanted most to know. The Ring, oh my god, we were obsessing over that all year. And they didn't even talk about it in the film, but they've talked about it in this, and it's perfect. And it's pretty much exactly what we thought it would be, but it's perfect. And yeah, I'm really excited. One day soon, hopefully, I will read this. On Instagram, I was like, oh, maybe I'll read it after I see The Last Jedi for the 2nd time, but that didn't happen either. I mean, is anyone surprised at this point? I buy the books, and I don't read them, and yeah. And then the last book that I have to show you is The Last Jedi Incredible Cross Sections. I really enjoyed the one for The Force Awakens. I really enjoy these books. I really enjoy knowing technical things about Star Wars ships and equipment and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully I will have had this and many other Star Wars books read by the time episode 9 comes out, but honestly, if I was you, I wouldn't bank on it, because, yeah. Those are all of the books that I bought last year that are Star Wars related. As I said, I will do a wrap-up. There will be one for physical books and ones for non-physical books that I read. So you can look out for those in the future. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.